It's the time to get your blues on. Didier Deschamps' French side take on the Super Eagles for a spot in the quarters tonight. Is this the recipe for another goal fest for the French? Biggest mismatch or another surprising result in the making? You can never tell. With this World Cup, it's the mighty Germans versus Algeria at 1:30 a.m. tonight. Heartbreak for the Greeks and Mexico as Costa Rica pull off another landmark victory, beating Greece on penalties to bag the spot in the quarters. They next face Netherlands, who beat Mexico last night. Hello and welcome to IBN Sports. Yes, it is the end of June, which kind of means we're almost halfway through this magical soccer ride. Let me get my guests into the mix. Novi Kapadia, our football analyst, and Karim Ben-Sharif, our coach of Pune FC. Now, lots ahead on the show. Like you can see right behind me, it's the round of 16. And we're going to concentrate on that side of the table today. It's France taking on Nigeria, Germany taking on Algeria. Two big teams in the fray. We might go out on a limb and say it's both David versus Goliath, but we don't know that for sure right now. France and Nigeria, in fact, lead the head-to-head count of this match. Yes, that's true. Nigeria, in fact, have beaten France just the one time the two teams have faced each other 5 years back. I, for one, will be hoping for a different result tonight. Rahul Dalal sets up this game for us.
After a disastrous 2010 campaign in South Africa, France have hit the ground running in Brazil. A dominant display in the group stages saw Les Bleus finish top of their group, scoring a whopping 8 goals and keeping clean sheets in 2 of their 3 games. Coach Didier Deschamps has used the trio of Yohan Cabaye, Blay Matuidi and Paul Pogba to provide a serious attacking thrust from the midfield. And in Karim Benzema, Les Bleus have a target man in the form of his life, having already scored 3 goals in the World Cup and 11 in his last 11 international appearances.
Before the competition, we were never labelled as one of the favourites. We've achieved some great things in the group phase, but we're entering a new tournament. It's really about the cup now. Every game can be the last, so you need a lot of efforts, energy and a lot of concentration. You need to be ready for everything.
The only hiccup is in the defence. Mamadou Sakho and Laurent Koscielny are both struggling with injuries, meaning come Tuesday, Porto's highly rated young centre-back Ilakwi Mangala could make his first World Cup appearance. And that's where the Super Eagles come in. Stephen Keshi's side showed their attacking potential in the 3-2 defeat to Argentina, and there's little doubt that Ahmed Musa, Peter Odemwingie and Emmanuel Emenike have the ability to trouble a potentially untested French backline. But the African champions have struggled for consistency and could continue to do so.
It's going to be a very spectacular game. It's going to be a very important game for both sides. I think details might decide the game. So we have to be very cautious and concentrate on every details and make sure we do what we have to do to win the game tomorrow.
Didier Deschamps' men are definitely the favourites going into the match. But if there is an African side capable of producing an upset of this magnitude, it is the Nigerians. With Rahul Dalal in New Delhi, Ayushman Jamwal.
Okay, let's start with Novi with this one. Novi, France started their campaign, on a high. They 2 big victories, 3 goal margins at the least to say. Ecuador, they drew that match, but they did rest 6 of their players, so they're well rested. They have won their group stage matches. Would you go out on a limb and say it's a David versus Goliath, this one?
No, not David versus Goliath, because Nigeria are African champions. They have a lot of pride. They are a very fast-paced team and some brilliant players, especially another young stalwart
But they haven't
emerging.
done so well in the tournament so far, just the 1 victory.
Yeah, yes, that's true. They didn't start well, but then a very big victory, upsetting Bosnia, and then giving Argentina a real fright. If not for the brilliance of Messi, that could have been a draw. And in Ahmed Musa, they have again one of the young stars of the tournament.
Yep.
The way his body swerves, his pace, his change of direction, cool finish in front of goal, and Emenike, the EPL stars, Odemwingie, John Obi Mikel. So they are going to trouble France, but both teams play at a frantic pace. The heat could affect both teams. The team which acclimatizes better, adjusts better, will have an advantage. No, I think it will be a very close call. Nigeria not going down easily. It could be like the match I saw in '94 with Italy, which went down to extra time, Italy prevailing.
Okay, we'll get Novi back in the mix in just a little while. We'll get Karim in now, and he's given us a lineup for the French side for today's game. He's gone with the winning combination that scored those 5 goals against Switzerland. That's a 4-3-3 with Giroud in the middle, Benzema and Valbuena. And if we can just go over to the Nigerian 11 that Karim's picked for today. I'll come in just a while. Here you go. Now, that's the one. Victor Moses comes in, finally gets a game due to injury. And like you said, Ahmed Musa is going to be key for this one. So if we can go over to Karim's corner. Karim, can you just explain to us how this game will pan out? Like Novi said, it's going to be a very fast-paced game. How do you see this one panning out?
Well, we expect France to come with their normal 4-3-3 formation. Now, there is Deschamps have few headache selections. There is here, he can play Pogba, which he is a very key player for during the qualification. But I feel that he will go with the Sissoko because all the last training sessions, that's what he did. He have also a problem of injury of Sako, which he will put Koscielny. And of course, he have choices of, he have plenty of choices of Griezmann, Karim Benzema, Valbuena. Or as I feel he may do, is put in Giroud, Karim Benzema and Valbuena, the same trio that play against Switzerland. Because I feel Giroud, he will match the physicality of Nigeria. Because we know the Nigerian team is very physical.
That's what I asked you earlier. Why not go with Benzema as the lone striker?
Exactly. I just feel that they need, when they play Griezmann, Karim Benzema and Valbuena, they miss in case there is some aerial balls during set pieces, and I feel Giroud can compete with the Nigerian defense when it comes to physical game. Very important for France to quickly take control of the game, and to do so, and they do it brilliantly, is the movements of the three, but also the support of both Matuidi and Sissoko. And we will see also the side backs, both Debuchy and Evra will be involved in going forward, and Cabaye will keep a kind of a balance in the. So the more they do this, and if they can keep Musa and Moses busy defending, then at the back they will be comfortable. But of course they should be balanced, especially on this left side, behind Debuchy, because we know that Musa is a very, very important player, and he proved in the previous games that he can take on player one-on-one situation. He can score goals, and of course they have also Amunike, who is very, very strong player.
Okay, just talking about this Nigerian team a bit, against Iran, that's a team that defends really well. We saw that against Argentina. So against Iran, they seem to struggle a bit because Iran sit in their side of the pitch, and these people attack on the counter. So how do you see this? This will be interesting, right? Because the French play very fast-paced. They attack a lot. So this will be interesting to see how they try to not not concede on the counter.
Yeah, the French team have to be careful because Nigeria proved, especially against Argentina, who play similarly to France, they leave spaces behind, as we explained here. They leave those spaces behind, and here where the French team have to be careful. I think Nigeria suit them to play on a counter rather than to combine and break the defense.
They're very compatible to each other's playing.
So here, as I said, with Musa being around, but also Moses, it's very important, and here the key role of Cabaye, the holding midfield, is whenever Debuchy go, he should position himself, especially on the strength of Nigeria, which is Musa. He should position himself always around this area in case they play quickly on Musa. You have Cabaye who will come and support, but also you have the centre back, and of course that will give time for the whole block of the French team to come back.
Okay, Novi, just talking about Ahmed Musa here. I mean, that's the player. He's the only Nigerian player to have scored more than a goal at a World Cup. He scored 2 against Argentina. Do you see this one being an extremely successful game for him, or how do you see this one panning out for him?
Well, he's up against a much tougher opponent. Then with Argentina tended to take their foot off the pedal. I mean, the French defense will have plans for him. This is a knockout match. In that, you see, it was a different mindset. Both teams had qualified. You know, we saw them in the tunnel laughing with each other. Victor Wanyama put his hands around Messi. That's not going to happen in a knockout match. So it will be, the French defenders will be a different kettle of fish for Moussa. It's going to be much more tighter. We will see his ability, how he can cope with probably Sissoko clamping down on him. So will he really rise to the occasion? But it's a great day. I mean, I think for a good match, and it's an important occasion. First time 2 African teams in the round of 16. So is it going to be another historic day in this World Cup full of topsy-turvy results?
Okay, lots of topsy-turvy results, but let's just take a minute to talk about, one coach to another, Didier Deschamps. We've talked about many coaches along the way, how the coach is key. But this is the French side. I mean, some of the French players who've come this time around were part of the squad that went to South Africa in 2010. That campaign ended, in almost tragedy with so many players, with the whole controversy in that camp. So how do you see Deschamps having changed this team around? How this team seems happier, this team seems more connected and more, like a team.
Well, he changed a lot, and a lot of things, many things have changed since the debacle of 2010. Deschamps, of course, this is not the project only of Deschamps. The changes is also the project of the whole French Federation. They wanted, they was ashamed by what happened in South Africa, and they wanted to make sure that it doesn't happen anymore. And that's why in this line they supported Deschamps all the way, even when he dropped strong players like Samir Nasri to keep that harmony going. And I think they succeed in a way. And now, now started Deschamps have slight headaches how to manage the competition between players and all that. It was till now it was easy, but now there is few, especially that decision who to play between Pogba and Sissoko. Both are doing well, both are expected, and both they want to play. So here, these are the difficult times of a coach, how to handle this kind of situation and keep everybody happy, keep Pogba happy in case he doesn't start, and keep also Sissoko happy even if he doesn't start, because he have a lot of choices on his squad at the moment.
Okay, now a lot of choices, that's not really something a coach would ever complain about. But speaking of choices, Oliver Giroud and Karim Benzema, we spoke about Benzema in the last game, but both these strikers seem to be playing really well. So Benzema has a point to prove back home to Real Madrid, to be their lone striker next season. So will that be at the back of his mind somewhere, that I need to do well here to have a great season for my club as well, or is just France on his mind right now?
No, so the golden boot is on his mind. I mean, he was well in the running. A goal disallowed, a penalty miss, otherwise he would have been on 5 goals. Now, I fully agree. I think there'll be Oliver Giroud and Karim Benzema because of the physicality of the Nigerian defense. They are tall, strong, play a body, they challenge with their body. So with Giroud commanding in the air, it gives France another dimension. Giroud can outjump most defenders and France can use the flanks. Benzema can play from the left, interchange. So I think they'll both start and both will be very effective. We're looking forward to a very open game, a lot of attacking football. We've seen very cagey football in most of these round of 16 matches. Of course, the weather will be the X factor in this match.
Yes, okay, we'll wrap up this chat just for now. Let's go over to the second game tonight. And at 1:30 a.m., it's perhaps the biggest mismatch of the second round as heavyweights and title contenders Germany take on an unfancied Algeria team making its first appearance at the World Cup's knockout stages. Minos Algeria will hope to miraculously avenge the disgrace of Gijón from 1982 World Cup when they meet Germany for a spot in the quarterfinals. Germany, who have never won against Algeria though, will look to stamp their class early on an Algerian side who will rely heavily on their ability to soak up the pressure and then make a difference with a pacey counter-attack. Joachim Low, though, will be without the services of Lukas Podolski. Okay, Lukas Podolski missing, but in comes Mario Götze. I mean, this is the coach you'd want to be, right? I mean, one player goes out and what do you get? Another world-class player in his place.
Exactly, and even if Götze is not there, there will be other.
Always more.
There is Schürrle, there is. So they have. This is maybe the most complete squad of this World Cup, in my opinion. Plenty of talent, a lot of options up front, in the middle. If you look only at the midfield, 4 world-class center midfielder, Khedira, Schweinsteiger, Philipp Lahm and Kroos, Toni Kroos. So this German side is very complete. Of course, Podolski played last game. He picked up an injury, so he will not be available. But still, a lot of flair there on the German side up front. But I feel that, at this level, no game is easy. It will not be just easy run for
and we've
Germany.
learned it the hard way.
Yeah, I think if you take Algeria, maybe is the most organized African team when it comes on the field tactically. Vaid, the coach, have done a great job to organize them tactically. They quickly, even when they attack, they quickly come back to position and make a very strong defensive block as well.
Okay, Novi, let me just get you into this. Algeria defended well against Belgium and South Korea in their 2 games, but Thomas Muller is a force to be reckoned with for them. So this will be their first big challenge?
No, they've defended very well. I mean, see, not only that, they are the highest ranked African team in this World Cup. That's often overlooked. They are ranked 22nd. And they've got that motivational factor, the shame of Guillaume, which I think will motivate them more. Than the Germans, with a lot of their ex-players talking about that. And in Majid Bouguera, Rafiq Heliashe, they have excellent defenders. Islam Suleimani can be, lethal fox in the box. And they're very quick on the counter-attack. But yes, too much quality and variety in Germany. They've got Miroslav Klose, who could come and break the world record. He's sitting on the bench. So there's no end to the German attacks.
To celebrate.
Yes, I mean, we could see those celebrations when he gets his world record. Now, Germany definitely have the edge, but it'll again be a close match. Hopefully, nobody showing flares to the goalkeeper Manuel Neuer. Hopefully, there won't be any complaints of that sort.
Okay, that's all the time we have to preview the 2 games. Remember, our guests will be back at 11:30 tonight with Sanjeev Mukherjee to review that first game for you, and we slip into a short break. On the other side, we get you into the show, our viewers. You've been tweeting into us over the last few hours. We'll get them back to you after the break. Welcome back. Just a little time left on the show, so we'll get you some of the results from last night. A 10-man Costa Rica made history as they booked a place in the quarterfinals of the World Cup for the first time in their footballing history after beating Greece on penalties. Los Ticos stepped up with a stride in their step as winners of the group of death, and their skipper Brian Ruiz opened the scoring in the 52nd minute. Greece, however, kept their tournament alive with a late equalizer, Socrates, on hand to finish from close range in stoppage time. It went down to penalties and the first 7 spot kicks were converted, but Tico's keeper produced a sensational save to deny Gekas, putting his side firmly in the driver's seat, and Michael Umanda made no mistake with the decisive penalty to take Costa Rica through to the quarters for the first time in their history. Now, Netherlands pulled off a great escape, 2 goals in the last 10 minutes, taking them past the Mexican side, who thoroughly deserved to go through. Mexico started on the front foot, and it stayed that way as wave after wave of green attacks kept the Dutch defense busy, and the Mexicans finally had the goal to show for their dominance when Giovanni Dos Santos unleashed a powerful left-footer from outside the box 3 minutes into the restart. In desperation, Van Persie was withdrawn and Huntelaar was sent on. Wesley Schneider kept the Dutch alive with a pile driver in the 86th minute after a loose ball fell his way inside the box, and then in added time Robben was fouled in the box and Huntelaar smashed it in for the win. Yes. Of course, our fans, you sitting at home, are also part of our show here. So you've been tweeting into us over the last few days, and let's take a look at some of the things you've been sending us. Underdog Algeria beats Germany 2-1 in tonight's game in my siesta. Hope it's just a dream. LOL. Siesta being sleep, of course. Host of Europe's top clubs are lining up to sign Ochoa, but who will he join? Of course, that was the question I also asked myself after watching him play that match last night. Mexican tacos were good at World Cup, but not good enough as the swift Dutch soup, with a bit of Robben, pinch of RVP, and a lot of Schneider. Of course, that must be a cook writing into us. Respect for Greek players, who turned down World Cup bonuses and opted for a training center instead. Now, the tweet of the day that has come to us is from Deepak Jagannath. He wrote, "The world is rooting for the B, Brazil, to lift the cup, but it's the C combo, Colombia and Costa Rica, who are the story of the tournament." Of course, you can also be part of our conversation here on IBN Sports. You can tweet at IBN Live using the hashtag World Cup. Remember, that's World Cup with an S. And of course, that's all the time we have on the show. Remember, we will be back at 11:30 p.m. with the review of the first game. Thanks for watching.